your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Good morning, folks. Welcome back to another day of LOOT.BET Season 7 action as we're here with a single best of 3 for your eyes. The feast on today, it's Nordavind versus aTTaX, and we're going to start things off on Overpass. And, well, one thing's for certain, I am not alone to bring you this quality best of 3. Joining me along for all the rides is the aquatic beast himself. It is, of course, Squid.
That's right. I'm flipping and flopping through the water to bring you this series. I said yesterday I wanted aTTaX to get a challenge. I don't think Honoris yesterday was much of a task for them to take down. I think in that whole best of 3 yesterday, didn't Honoris only take a maximum of 5 rounds, discluding what they were able to take a couple of days before? It's a really poor result. I asked for a challenge, and they've certainly got one here in the form of Nordavind. They're a formidable opponent for the Germans. Of course, Nordavind slightly favorites. The awkward thing about this series is Nordavind is incredibly inconsistent. You never know what you're going to get. They're a massive jack-in-the-box. Sometimes they pop out and everybody's firing on all cylinders. Sometimes they don't show up to the series at all. I hope we see the former and we see an all-guns-blazing best of 3 starting on Overpass here between these two teams.
What I find particularly wild about these two teams is somehow, for two teams that have been playing a lot of online Counter-Strike recently, they've only played each other once.
Yes, that is weird to say the least. I think it's because aTTaX generally are in a lower division of play. They're playing a lot of the lower tier betting site tournaments. They're also playing the ESEAs, where Nordavind, I think they might even be in different divisions. I'm not even sure if aTTaX...
No, they did play in ECA. That's the one game they've played. Was a 16-5 on Overpass that Nordavind won against aTTaX recently for ECA.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I think that this one is a bit of a question mark, an unknown quantity. I think it's all going to be decided by how Nordavind show up. Are all of their pieces going to fire today? Are we just going to see them fall totally flat? I think Nordavind are still, and maybe forever more, going to be a humongous question mark.
What makes them such an interesting team to commentate, though? Very inconsistent, very hard to predict what we're going to get from them in any of the different circumstances we get to see them play. But at the end of the day, what matters is that they keep on winning games in this tournament. They keep on progressing through the Swiss stage, getting wins left, right, and centre, and ultimately that'll help them have to play less best of 3s and get that guaranteed spot in the grand finals, of course.
So, right into the action. Here comes that initial pistol round with the Germans obviously starting on that CT side and Nordavind starting out with a bit of speed. They're going to walk into a fairly open B-bomb site where Skrunk's going to be ferociously challenged. And here come the headshots. He needs a couple right here, right now. He's going to find it up close and personal. aTTaX. Look at this burst. It gets completely quashed. And NATO Safix stuck in an impossible position. 1-0 on the board. The Germans a great start. And look at this rotate. Before the bomb goes down, all 5 of these CTs just rocking and rolling on this B bomb site and also hitting their shots.
Really on the ball there with just the speed of their pistol round, getting in the right place at the right time. And not only that, the USPs were just connecting as well. Every headshot they needed was being found. So just put Nordavind on a slight back foot here as they are unable to kick things off how they would typically like to. Now just a handful of pistols, nothing more. And it should be a second round for the aTTaX side.
Wow, look at all of that initial preliminary damage. Nobody escaping the Molotov for Nordavind. More than 30 HP dealt to everybody. HS taking clean out of the server. That is just about as decisive as it gets with those initial nades. And, well, his slacks just clean them up, finish them off. That's a lot of money in his back pocket. Of course, that famous reeling in a couple of kills as well. aTTaX have to be happy about this round. Of course, these second round force buys and even the ecos with just Glocks are always a little bit dangerous when you're playing against Nordavind. You never know what they're going to come out with. They've got 5 players who can all hit those headshots, more so than the majority of other teams in this tournament. Just makes any weapon that they're holstering that much more deadly.
See now what the strategy is going to be from the CT side. Well, the answer, flat out aggression. That's right, takes his SMG, dives on full and upgrades it to a rifle, I believe. He should really be able to find it. Yeah, straight to an AK. Happy days. Now lives to fight another day as the connector push comes through. Slacks with the AWP, putting in the work to hold the top side as Nordavind are looking a little bit lost right now, being picked apart left, right, and center as the SMGs now look to hold on to a B site. With little to find for themselves, but a 3v5 situation.
This is where things start to get tough and tricky. It's back to B for Nordavind as they bunch up a trio for a monster. And this is where they need these opening picks. Stefan should be the easier of the 2 targets. If Mirbit also falls and this goes to a 3v3, then we've got a real opportunity here. And that's the important frag. Stefan's surely going to get burst off the bomb site. And there's a third just to add a little bit of spice to this 2 versus 2. Alternate aTTaX just gathering up around this bomb site. You see that Nordavind are ready, obviously, for the flank, which has already exposed itself. Sprunk, his position, they're well aware of it. And in the middle of the bomb site, Tensky just gets instantly caught. This is where Harry has to go huge to put Nordavind's first on the board. The bomb isn't necessarily planted for him. And, well, there we go. If alternate aTTaX are going to show up like that today, win these 2 versus 3s, hit those sort of headshots, then I think this is exactly the way to shut Nordavind down. Get that slight lead early, try and capitalize off it. Remember, that was a bonus round for alternate aTTaX, so they don't even really care about the damage. Winning it is just the icing on the cake.
And they're winning it quite comfortably too. It doesn't look like a lot of these rounds are very difficult for them. The last one there was a moment where things got a little bit hectic down on the B side, but quickly and easily recovered. Just gives you an idea of what to expect, I think, from this CT side. It is looking impeccable so far. And already another great opening frag as well. Just the confidence of Alex and his AWP.
I think this is the way to beat Nordavind with your fundamentals. Just playing them how Counter-Strike was meant to be played instead of doing anything too crazy. I feel like Nordavind often do a really good job of throwing a lot of variance into the mix, doing some crazy stuff which catches the CT side off guard. I think most of the time that's why their T side is so good. This time, you see that they just get shut down, held in place. And that's an easy 4th round. Alternate aTTaX only losing 1 player. The money's now going to blister out of control. Look at that gorgeous opening shot.
Nordavind do have to be pretty careful here not to give up rounds so easily to this aTTaX side, who are seemingly running away with them right now. Once more, the strategy for Nordavind. It's going to be to try and hit the B side, it seems. But like you say, the nade's already doing so much early chip damage that when that push does come through, just so costly. I mean, Tensky's 5 HP and he's yet to take a single gunfight in the round.
This is the real issue when playing against alternate aTTaX. Even if you're a firecracker like Nordavind, a lot of the time, the Germans are just going to put water right over the top, end any drama. You see that their fundamentals are so good. The early damage engagements are almost always favorable. And those nade stacks, it's just not something that you'll see Nordavind do. They don't strike me as the sort of team who are going to be spending hours on the practice servers practicing those lineups. They're the sort of team who'll be spending hours on the DM servers trying to nail the headshots. And alternate aTTaX, I would say, have a much more well-rounded game. And it puts a lot of pressure on the fragging power on this Nordavind side. Slacks this time out in the open. That might be a good closer, but you see as Cronin goes down, the M4 still here, the two-man advantage, and this HP just nothing to work with. Tensky's surely going to get rattled away. It's 5-0. Alternate Attacks again survive with 4. Look at this money start to build. It's just out of control already. We're only 5 minutes into this game, and already a massively decisive lead.
Yeah, this is looking to be a very dominant start right now from the CT side. If they keep this rolling, then we're going to be over and done with it. I'll be back to bed in just 20 minutes' time, as this best of 3 will be just lock and key. Oh, aTTaX running over their opponent right now on their CT side. And, well, the bigger problem here is just the economy of it all as well. The way they're going about it is so aggressive that Nordavind are being left with just pistols and whatnot to try and squeeze through the rounds. And, well, frankly, they're not good enough.
So I think what's interesting about this tournament is if you qualify for the playoffs in first place, the chances are you won't be put against one of those invite teams. Obviously, the deadliest of the, I think, 12 that are in that double elimination bracket. I think that it might be 8 for the first. I can't really remember. But either way, this is why Nordavind is so scary. Sometimes they just roll onto the bomb sites, hit the headshots, and it's round over. This is the only thing that seems to be saving them right now. Tensky just waltzes onto the bomb site, chipping away 3. Croman also picking up the kill, and alternate attacks stuck in the mud here in round number 6. I think they'll be fine about this. They go back to the drawing board for round number 7. They'll have a full, wholesome buy. Slacks the poorest player, but he's still got $3,000. He can also be supported by Scrunk. Depends if he saves this AK through, which looks to be a foregone conclusion. Let's see if they're going to add anything into the mix here, and has to be very worried about this Deagle right now. And there's the shot. That's a nice saving shot. The AK can't do all too much. And that AWP, just maximum economic buffer for aTTaX.
All that's going through my mind right now is the tragedy of a quick Nordavind reset here, to be honest. Despite them getting 1 round on the board. Just thinking what could possibly happen here if Nordavind just gets shut down right now. You go 6, 7, 8, 1 even. So, pretty brutal. Will be a B play though to come through. Apparently the AWP towards short is the strategy here as alternate attacks drop the gauntlet on the B site, smashing it down as they hold on against this onslaught of terrorist players. The first kill finally coming through, but it is too little too late. This is not a retake. This is a failed site attempt. The execute gone wrong. Nordavind unable to clear off any of the players.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just 1 hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
So we're 7 rounds in, and already we're seeing a bit of a CT side masterclass from alternate attacks. You see how cool that defense is on the B bomb site. The rotate is exceptionally snappy. The nades are absolutely on point. You see the Molotov thrown into the mix to cause havoc through the Nordavind players. It at least separates them. A smoke has to go down. Otherwise, 3 players are segregated behind, and Nordavind are forced forward with just 2. They have to make that push, and the incendiary grenade makes it that much harder. That combined with the initial frag grenade doing 50 HP onto Croman, Nordavind are massively on the back foot before they even make their claim onto that B bomb site. They can't find the frags, which has been their only saving grace in the 1 round that they have taken. This is very one-sided. We see the pause come through. This is a much needed pause for Nordavind, but early days, your head's probably still pretty in the game. What are you talking about? Maybe just trying to break up that pace a little. decipher what their tactics going to be here in round number 8. But it feels like alternate attacks are playing the standards of Counter-Strike really perfectly, and Nordavind just don't have those fundamentals to match their fragging power.
Let's see how this one plays out now, though. Nordavind be back into the action, looking to see if they can change that here. They'll try and push up into the B site, of course, but already a first duel won. Lack of a trade kill. Merbit comes out ahead there.
When you see that from Nordavind, there's nobody to respond off that frag. Yeah, Merbit's all the way out in the open, and Tensky just relying again on that straight gunfight. If he has a secondary teammate to go for that swing, this is at least a 1-for-1 trade, and Nordavind aren't stuck again in round number 8, a player down.
Now, though, they're still searching for opportunity to put that missing player to good use, find themselves a quick site take with the 4 players that do remain, and it will be a B play from the looks of things. aTTaX don't really have anyone here to spot it either. That's a complete disaster. Scrunk getting 2 for his troubles and the bomb planter as well. Lucius, HS and Harry to try and hold on to this one. 10 seconds remain now. They know full well that one of those players is on the site itself. So the peak gets taken, becomes easy pickings. aTTaX now have 1 player to find in order to bag a defuse. It could not get any more black and white for the CT side, could it? It really couldn't.
I think HS sitting in this smoke is the only way to play it. There's the first. He's going to hit so many more shots, and it's just not going to happen. Too many Germans overpowering that bomb site. 2 kills means damage, but Nordavind, they're not looking for damage right now. They're looking to damage that score at the top. It's 7-1. And it doesn't seem like alternate attacks are slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, seems like they are just going to be holding W the entire game long at this point. Nordavind yet to really show us anything that disproves that.
And most importantly, what was the change up there? You saw an initial attempt at the entry kill, and then no response. Once again, they walked straight through the smoke without a single flashbang to deal with Stefan. Of course, the Germans have the flashes at the ready, and it's a complete mowdown. That tactical timeout seemed to have no impact on this half, no impact on Nordavind's game plan. You see that they're resorting to the same rush B tactics time and time again, and scrimming matchmaking sort of strats are just not going to work against this alternate attack side, who have so many maps logged, even on a map like Overpass, just incredible numbers of maps logged. This is Nordavind's pick. They should have some fundamentals to fall back upon, and we are just being shown absolutely nothing right now. And this seems to be the pattern for alternate attacks. They seem to be able to do this against the majority of teams. Honoris went up against the brick wall of this defense yesterday, and I slammed Honoris, said they look terrible, but maybe it's just that alternate attacks have those fundamentals really in place, and they're a little underrated.
Nordavind looking for a B plate once more. Really getting caught by Merbit, who's hungry. Can do even more damage here. Will in fact just be a standard contact. Great little flash. A way to open things up. Oh, Stefan realizing he's being chased on down. Plays that perfectly as well. Just make sure he lives to fight another day, and even when he is then taken down by a pistol, ensures that he can only be taken down by 1 and puts him out of position in order to find their kills. So makes it that his teammates can easily clean up the scoreline continues to massively fall out of contention here. I mean, what is going on?
So the last time these two teams played, it was on Overpass. Nordavind were able to win it 16-5. And I think what's happened here is totally obvious. Alternate aTTaX have been beasted in a best of one. They've then went back to the demos and seen exactly how they can try and abuse their setups and say, right, okay, Nordavind, they've got a couple of powerful gimmicky tactics. Let's see how we can circumnavigate that and actually take a good CT side. Last time, Nordavind were able to take 10 as T. That is not even possible at this point. 6 is the biggest scoreline they'll be able to achieve. I do like this boost. This is very possible. Oh, but it gets spotted. So that gives Alternate aTTaX a little bit of information. You see how they respond with the nades. Like, Harry should be moving right out of that position as soon as he gets spotted, but he just sticks around for the fun. He isn't enjoying it.
So much damage is done. Absolutely insane. The worst part is the players getting sprayed through the smoke, so not even the low HP players. Harry's still 17 HP and standing. Complete disaster. It really is. Good information collected as well, so they'll immediately smoke it off, molly it off as well. Just an eye at any sort of professional B play that Nordavind will now try and sort out. Up through short they come. Scrunk with one. That's right. Good night. There will only be a singular frag for this T size. Alternate aTTaX go 10-1.
Yeah, incredibly one-sided. Doesn't feel like this score is going to slow down or shut up anytime soon. Already double digits for Alternate aTTaX on this Nordavind map pick. I said that I wanted a challenge for Alternate aTTaX. This really doesn't look like much of a challenge here on Overpass. Yeah, as I said, they're just playing incredibly standard Counter-Strike, and it's working. Left, right, and center. Feels like all of their players are kind of showing up to this one. And the only round win from Nordavind was Tensky finding 3 heads on the A bomb site. That is not massively replicatable. He's going to have to try and do it again now, at least. Obviously, a couple of bullets straight on through. This is what makes his T-side so dangerous, is their ability to just overpower these bomb sites. Slacks the first man in, and well, he's going to get taken down. Krezi also falls. Now the defense has to play with these AKs in back line. They're a bit able to trade up a few, but it's only 1-for-1 as they get stuck in the 1 versus 1. Nado, Safix, still a minute on the board, and Stefan fairly low on HP. Bomb should go down kind of soon. And with 50 seconds left, that's just a bait. As the Molotov goes over the top. That one whiffs. So NATO Safix, he can plant upon this bomb site. And there's the shot. So 10-2. Finally, a little bit of success there. But again, that's the fragging power of Nordavind. It was basically just a rush down long.
And it does only bring their second round. Let's keep that in mind. The actual frag there through the... I'm not even sure what you would call it. I guess the wall that separates dumpster side kind of going down into B through to the actual site itself. That spray through there, the 1v2 is nuts. And limiting Nordavind to 2 rounds here is going to be a win on aTTaX's book. Once more, will be a B play coming on through. And they run into a bunch of rifles who are pretty much ready to deal with them as they make their push. Tensky becomes last man standing. It is a 3-on-1, so Tensky has an opportunity here to be a hero, bring it back, and make something here, but definitely going to be a tough one. Got a minute to work with, so at least he's got patience on his side.
With that bomb not down, He can't really apply this preliminary pressure, and he is stuck all the way in the open. He has to hit everything, and look how easily he's dispatched of. 11-2. I feel like Nordavind just have to cross away this B-bomb site at this point. They've walked into it, how many times? Probably 9 times, and just been shut away every single opportunity. They've had a couple of half plants here and there, but very comfortable retake scenarios for alternate aTTaX. Usually surviving with 2 to 4 players, overwhelming those singular after plant situations. And 11-2 as a result. I'd love to see Nordavind just rush towards this A bomb site, trying to overwhelm the 2 players playing towards this side of the map. I think that's their only chance right now.
This is looking pretty ridiculous at this point. Cressy, he's got himself behind this push. He's got the bomb as well. This is insane. Nordavind have accomplished absolutely nothing on their T side. They really have. Even here you think, oh, it could be in a good position. No, Cressy's literally behind the T side. Takes a free peek on Croman. Not only full control of bomb, but an extra pick as well. Leaves just Tensky now, last man stand, to come in from behind. They're watching for him. It'll be an easy kill to find. 12-2.
Overall, I'm just really impressed with what I've seen from alternate aTTaX. They did make me eat my words yesterday, not closing out one of the series all too quickly, but remember, it is not how you start, it's how you finish. And here today, alternate aTTaX getting off to the best of starts, which should set them up for a decisive finish. We'll see. I just love this utility usage. I think that that's the best thing about this alternate aTTaX side right now. It feels like right there, the Molotov is perfect. And in a round like this, Nordavind, they had no smoke anywhere to be found. Yes, Harry has one in hand, but if you really want to use your only smoke in the whole server, 5 seconds into the 15th round, trying to get rid of one of those Molotovs? Probably not. Best case scenario, 12-3. Maybe going to try and pump back some shots, and he does get taken away as well. So Stefan, a trio of T's await to secure, unlucky for some, 13. But there's a nade in the face, pretty much ends this 15th round, ends the half. Let's see if he can just pry in. Well, there's a headshot as well. This would be devastating. There's no saving at this point. That's a decent enough nade that forces aTTaX into place. That is an even worse one. Forces him into the open. A 1 versus 1 that Tensky is able to step and find. 12-3. Got a little bit dodgy at the end, but alternate aTTaX, such a half.
Either way, it's still 12-3, isn't it? I mean, even with a couple of rounds snuck in, if you ask the team, hey, you get 12 rounds on your CT side overpass, you up for that? Sound good? They will bite your hand off, literally.
So alternate aTTaX actually have a better win rating on their T side than their CT side of overpass as well. So just let that sink in. In fact, it's just not true. The graph is just wrong. I know. I'm going to complain to HRTV. Either I can't read a graph, or there are some wacky numbers on my screen. Either way, secondary pistol round coming through. Early in number 16. Alternate aTTaX take it. It'll be right over the top. This first map will more than likely be theirs. Nordavind want the comeback. It has to start right here, right now. Chaining those rounds together, getting that money rolling. But going towards the A site here almost guarantees isolating HS on this bomb site. See Nordavind, the response is actually quite smooth. It's quite quick. And HS, oh, he just can't hit anything. He's going to have to fall back. Here come the CTs, though. A couple of defenders to compromise with this attack. And aTTaX right over the top. He's not been spotted. Stefan finally finds the shot. And, well, it's alternate attacks all over. A sea of yellow here in the pistol is Harry gets slaughtered. 13-3.
I've just got nothing more to say.
Blanks. Ah, look, even the Russian commentators are laughing.
Literally, I'm about as speechless as they are. Like, there's just nothing more to say about this series. Just basically go to a break, delete the VOD from existence, and pretend it never happened. That's all you can really do here.
But still pay me.
It's priorities, of course.
Priorities. 13-3. And Nordavind massively on their last legs in this first map of the day. If this is setting the pace, if this is the trend, then I think we're in for a quickie to start things off. Everyone likes a quickie. 13-3. And Nordavind are just losing all of the angels. Yes, the scout is able to punch in a little bit of damage. But, well, you look, Harry, 4 kills. He's 4 in 17 right now. He might as well have stayed in bed and not really shown up for this one. Only 5 kills for Nordavind, 7 for HS and Croman, and Tensky on 10. But that's nothing to rant and rave about. Nobody playing the exceptional Counter-Strike that we've seen all week from Nordavind. And right now, with the scout, ragtag bunch of weapons, they're going to have to hold somewhat of a scrappy defense. And that's a key shot to miss. aTTaX, I think he's all out of chances. I think he's all out of time. As his teammates fall and falter around him, it's a 4 versus 2. And alternate attacks look ultimately convincing. There are a couple of kills. An AK salvaged. And Scrunk and Mimit, they are the full HP players. So tapping that bomb straight away. A swing pings out successfully. And now Mibit's got to do it all on his lonesome. He stops that defuse temporarily. He's going to just be gunning for this diffuser with his Deagle. He needs to peek it sometime soon. Just get him off this bomb. That is a headshot. There's no kit on this one. And he's 1 HP away from taking it away. Look at that. 6 HP, 2 HP. That is very unfortunate.
Yeah, you could not get that any closer. It means that Nordavind will sneak in a 4th round, and ultimately they'll limit the economy of alternate attacks, which is actually pretty big because it means they won't be able to get rolling with AKs and whatnot galore. So hopefully that little hindrance will mean that we can see Nordavind get more into this matchup. Yeah, alternate have actually decided to force this. They've gone Deagles and full utility. Clearly feeling very confident.
I think this is the mindset of, right, we've been winning, crushing them. If we just take this single round right now, the map's over. It's ours. I would prefer the save, to be honest. I think that shows a little more regiment in the ranks. Let's see if the alternate attack side can do it right here and right now, though. Of course, against the rifles, it's easy, but aTTaX, he walks right into it. That leaves the AK-47 up for grabs. Harry has to go for this flank, and he's only got the MP9 to deal with. I think he's been completely outmaneuvered here as alternate attacks burst onto the A-bomb site. There goes the C4 down and away, and Nordavind just being locked out of place. Yes, Harry's got this flank, but he's going to be instantly spotted here, even if he finds 1 kill. It all comes down to these follow-up rifles. And let's see what Scrunk can do. He's got that retrieved AK. See if he can buy some space for some of these pistols. Harry's doing a decent chunk of damage. And there Scrunk is dealt with. So a touch-and-go round, but a 5th nonetheless for the CTs.
Onwards and upwards. That's the strategy you have to employ at the end of the day. Let's just take it round by round, frag by frag. Long road ahead after all. Can't help but feel like aTTaX need to just kind of sit back for a second now. Rather than spend anything, just take the eco. Looked around 20 to close this out. After all, you just need 3 rounds. It's pretty small in the grand scheme of things.
Heard those words before. 13-5. Okay, in play. There goes the C4 twice. Of course, this isn't a massively contentious round. Not even body armor for these Ts. This is where it starts to get a little more dangerous, though. We've seen comebacks in this sort of territory so far this week. Obviously, aTTaX don't want to keep forcing up. They need these gun rounds, and they need to win a couple of them at some point. Obviously, they've had a couple of close engagements. That's great, but yeah, you've got to take the rounds at some point. And a team like Nordavind, when they grab hold of the cheese, they're just not letting go for anybody or anything other than themselves. So 13-6. Let's see if Nordavind can now claw back some rounds. This is their pick, so they need to have a good CT side a lot of the time, especially when you get put in a disastrous scenario like this. A couple of opportunities to close already thwarted, but many more opportunities to come. And the nades just aren't stopping. They're relentless. Even on this T side, they have everything completely lined up. Aggression pans out and pays off. Now, how are they going to respond? Is this a reset? I don't like that reset. Of course, that was after the damage had come through, but we'll let it go. Yeah, that was a bit late for my liking. We obviously can't see that in-game chat either, so we can't necessarily blame a team, but yeah, I'm not even going to theory craft on that one. I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's very tough. There's so many things you just can't see, so looks like the restore will come through.
It doesn't make any sense. By the time that stoppage had come in, unless it was called way earlier and somebody didn't see it, aTTaX had already found a frag. Now Nordavind can't go for that aggression again. That's why late round stoppages just don't make any sense whatsoever. I think that alternate attacks have gotten away with murder, to be perfectly honest, by getting that pause through. If it was them, it might have been Nordavind. You never know. We can't see it on our end. So I would like to know, just to see whose fault it was, so I could point fingers. I'll point all 10 fingers at them.
Very slow strategy from aTTaX so far. Not really anything too wild here. NATO will at least catch Slacks up first. Got to move himself up through long as the trade looks likely, but then they decide to back away, not willing to fight it. That's a nice little trade actually in the end. They do take the jewels long, and not only do they find one, but they swing out for the second as well. Of course, all the rotations in. As to be said, this is a lot messier than previous rounds here on aTTaX. Aren't really grouped up or doing anything together. They're sort of just playing very one by one.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any game plan here in round number 20. You saw the one thing that kind of rests my pace a little bit is that aTTaX did once again find that first kill, and then there was a stalemate. So exactly the same thing occurred. But now a 3 versus 2 scenario with only 20 seconds left. It looks almost impossible that this bomb's even going to go down. There's a chance that with Tensky stuck inside a bank, there can be this freebie on the bomb plant. You see that spray. Doesn't generally connect. So Krez's AWP, despite the low HP, has to go absolutely massive wrapping around these corners, and well, there's a first, but he's going to spray from all angles right over the top. It's a leg. The pistol isn't out in time, and that could have been the can completely open. Wild leg shot. How does he hit a leg shot from that angle? That's got to be a little bit heartbreaking. That's more heartbreaking than just outright missing the shot. Look at this. A leg. CSGO, please.
Nordavind trying to see if they can make the best their CT side. They're already up to 7 rounds here, so the gap is definitely thinned. Can you imagine if they can bring this to 13? That would be truly wild. Big question, but nonetheless, the T side ploughing their way out now on towards the B site. HS tries to drop the gauntlet here, but not going to be enough. The MAC-10s will trade back and forwards. The difference is Hurry comes in from behind. That secures the bomb being dropped down in Monster. Makes life difficult, with Tensky pushing. That's pretty much the round. I think we could be looking at 13-8 here.
Yeah, that's another half buy taken for Nordavind. Good round once again. As soon as you see those smokes and flashes roll right over the top, you've always got to be a little bit fearful for what's to come. That's actually an opening into this one. I think he's actually going to go for this now. A 1 versus 2. The nade could have connected. Oh, let's see. That looks decent. Only a tiny bit of damage, though. And with both of these players just watching and waiting for this angle to come through. Of course, the smoke placed as well. I think this will be 13-8. We'll see if Meerbit can swing and just find a godlike headshot. That's the only opening here, and I think that is he's going to push all the way through. And oh, there's the first Meerbit. How is he doing this? What a 1 versus 3. Nordavind give him the entry onto the bomb site. That was the flank, and then he beasts his way on. Look at this shot against NATO Safix, as fast as you can get, and that's the 14th on the board just like that.
One step closer now to victory as well. That's going to be absolutely huge, but it is just that, one step. Not really made much more progress outside of that, so as much as it's an incredible clutch play, anything be done with it. The benefit is Nordavind have pretty trashy money, to be honest. But they've been able to buy back up here is far from ideal. Touch wood, this will help them. It all comes down to if they play their cards right. This should be a 14th here. In fact, it has to really be Ultimate Attack going, you know what, we're pushing for the game win here. They shouldn't be letting Nordavind do anything, given that it's just a handful of Deagle pistols with 1 or 2 solid rifles in play. That's a good pick towards long as well. It's a good way to start things off. Curious to see how they play the latest stages here, given that you have got 1 or 2 rifles lurking around the inner side of toilets and so on. Case in point is Tensky there.
Yeah, exactly. The M4 and AWP combo is tricky to deal with at the best of times. And Scrunk playing that one all on his lonesome means that there's no opportunity for trade frag. I feel like trades have been few and far between for both teams throughout this series. With 2 pretty gappy T sides, I must say. We see Tensky kind of misread this one. As soon as he spots that there's nobody down in connector, he's got to be aware that this might be towards the A bomb site. Nordavind, they've massively been outmaneuvered on this map. NATO Safix is in place, but here come the nades, and Nordavind are nowhere to be found. The bomb site is given away for free. There's the kill, and the bomb plant to go with it. This is an impossible scenario. Nordavind just have to gun their way back onto this site, and it's oh so difficult. There goes the final pistol. Tensky drops, and HS, the man who got completely outplayed earlier this round, is stuck in a 1 versus 4. That is just a lack of map control. Nobody on long. Nordavind completely misplaying the situation. massively overplaying their hand. They give alternate attacks literally a free bomb site in a 5 versus 4 or a 4 versus 4. That's an easy match point. Albeit that's 2 rounds from Nordavind that they've just given away. Here you go. Have it. Silver platter style.
What makes that platter even better now is all Nordavind can do to try and hold on and defend this is force up, of course, and the weaponry they get is pretty damn dire. Ultimate aTTaX not only been able to pull 1 round off of this silver platter, but should be able to finish this off as well now. I mean, it's been a bit tight in this second half. I think that's fair to say. Nordavind up to 7 rounds. They've done a good job of actually showing that this could be a competitive map. But unfortunately, just dropping the ball there, one simple mistake, should be more than enough for ultimate aTTaX to finish this one off now.
Right into the B bomb site, and it's again a freebie. These rounds have gone decisively their way. That last headshot pretty much just signals the way that this game is going. It's so damn obvious. A minute 10 on the board, and the pressure's about to be applied by this C4 going down. No idea why it isn't planted yet. Alternate aTTaX need to stop scratching their heads and plant the C4. This is overwhelming pressure. As soon as that C4 goes down in the ground, and you can see that they're hyper aware that Krezzy's behind, but he's just waiting to respond off that squeaky door. He now goes for the swing, and there's the kill. NATO aTTaX, a 1v5 with a scout? I do not think so. It's 16-7. Felt like it was going that way for quite some time. Alternate aTTaX, a little bit of stage fright before finishing this first map off. It was Nordavind's pick. We go to Vertigo, which now seems like a stronghold for the Germans coming up next. You're watching LOOT.BET Season 7. We'll be back after the break.